2120. A Weyland Yutani ship goes down hard in the middle of a city, and it's not just twisted metal in the wreckage. There are things inside. Things with claws, teeth, and a very bad habit of turning people into lunch. Meanwhile, somewhere far from the crash site, a girl who died isn't exactly gone. She's been brought back in a way that's, let's just say, complicated. She's not quite human anymore, but her mind, her memories, they're still hers. And those memories, they're about to lead her straight into the most dangerous place in the galaxy. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. Noah Hawley's Alien Earth wastes no time pulling you in. The first 2 episodes give us corporate games, creepy Peter Pan references, facehugger farms, and Xenomorph jump scares that'll have you side-eyeing your own hallway shadows. But right in the middle of all that chaos, there's a gut-punch reunion between brother and sister that flips the whole story on its head. So, let's unpack episodes 1 and 2 and see how this nightmare begins. A classic Alien-style opening. The year is 2120, aboard the USCSS Maginot, a C-class vessel cruising through space. Hawley pays heavy homage to Ridley Scott here. The crew waking up from cryo-sleep, casual banter in the mess hall, that slow burn introduction. But there's a twist. Some cryopods are still occupied, suggesting rotating shifts for long missions. We meet Morrow, the ship's tough-as-nails CESO. Tensions are already simmering. Some engineers joke about dumping the dangerous specimens they've collected, but Morrow shuts it down fast. Those specimens are the mission, and clearly lives have already been lost to obtain them. In the lab, facehuggers suspended in tanks. Yep, the nightmare fuel is here from the start. The crew heads back to their pods, and ominous flashes hint something is about to go very, very wrong.
What am I?
Whatever you want to be.
Welcome to Neverland Island. Cut to Earth on Neverland Research Island, where we meet Marcy, a young girl with a serious medical condition. She's cared for by Kirsch, a synthetic with a dry, philosophical streak. Marcy's fascination with a scorpion in a terrarium leads to a little moral parable from Kirsch. Maybe the scorpion is just as afraid of her as she is of it. This small moment feels like a setup for something later in the season. Enter Dame Sylvia, who's here to take Marcy for a life-changing procedure. The man in charge is Boy Cavalier, the eccentric CEO of the Prodigy Corporation, and a guy who's clearly obsessed with Peter Pan. His plan? Make Marcy the first human consciousness to be transferred into a synthetic body. As she drifts off for the procedure, she names her new body Wendy. In the Alien Expanded Universe, consciousness transfer has popped up before, but Hawley puts his own spin on it. Marcy's mind is digitized and uploaded, not her brain implanted into a cybernetic shell. When Wendy awakens, she's taller, stronger, and adjusting to an adult synthetic body, designed to mimic human adolescence. Kirsch questions whether she's still human at all, but Dame insists she's a human mind in a human-shaped vessel. Wendy just asks, "If I'm not human, what am I?" Kirsch's answer, "Whatever you want to be." The Maginot becomes a death trap. Back in space, alarms are blaring on the Maginot. Chaos has erupted. The dangerous specimens are loose, turning the ship into a floating nightmare zoo.
Morrow's trapped in the mother computer room when a crew member begs to be let in.
Instead, he seals the door, and an alien arrives to finish her off. This is the only full alien scene in the episode, but it's a chilling one. It hammers on the door until Morrow ducks into a coffin-like impact room for safety. The alien's drool dripping on him just before the hatch seals. The new adult alien designed by Weta is kept mostly in the shadows, but it feels unstoppable. Wendy meets the Lost Boys. On Neverland, Wendy's new life expands. She meets other terminally ill children who are about to undergo the same transformation, acting as their big sister and guiding them through it. The sequence of each child awakening in a synthetic adult body is haunting, with Peter Pan playing in the background. Meanwhile, in Prodigy City, located in Siam, we meet CJ, or Joe as Wendy calls him. He's her brother, a medic for Prodigy's military response team. Even a flashback shows them as kids, with Noah Hawley himself cameoing as their father. During rooftop training, a thunderous rumble hits. The Majinaut Crash lands right into the heart of the city, tearing into 3 massive towers. CJ's squad mobilizes instantly, rolling out in armored vehicles with futuristic rifles and smart guns, heading straight into the wreckage. Prodigy versus Weyland Yutani. At Prodigy HQ, Boy gets word about the crash. The Maginot is a Weyland ship, and Weyland will definitely want it back. Boy doesn't care. To him, it's just an opportunity to strip it for anything valuable. Inside the wreck, Morrow emerges from his impact room, the lone survivor. Prodigy soldiers poke through the lab, unaware that one of the smaller alien creatures has latched on to a trooper. It drains his blood mosquito style in a genuinely unsettling moment. Proof that not every alien threat in this show has to be a full Xenomorph to be terrifying.
My brother is not gonna die.
Wendys Mission. Back at Neverland, Wendy is undergoing audio frequency tests when she spots CJ on a security feed. Concern floods her. He's at the crash site. She storms into Boy's office, requesting to join the mission with her synthetics. Surprisingly, Boy agrees, sending Kirsch along as their handler. Wendy assembles the Lost Boys for their first field mission. There's even a small telling moment where she fashions part of a paper cutter into a makeshift sword, a Peter Pan flourish. The group boards their dropships for the city, and Wendy talks with Kirsch about mortality during the ride. The episode closes on that cliffhanger. The Lost Boys heading into the chaos of the Majinaut Crash site, and us knowing exactly what's waiting in there. Hermit versus the Xenomorph. Episode 2 wastes no time, throwing us right back into the chaos. We open with Hermit and the few surviving members of the Prodigy rescue team picking their way through the twisted wreckage of the Maginot. The scene is pure horror movie territory. Bodies scattered everywhere, from a man who died mid-surgery to a woman who looks like she suffocated. But what nobody notices, but we do, is the Xenomorph lurking silently in the shadows behind them. Meanwhile, at Prodigy's Neverland Research Island, Boy is in one of his usual self-absorbed moods, telling Dame Sylvia he wants to talk to someone smarter than him, someone who can blow his mind. His idea? Maybe the children can do that. And if not, at least they won't bore him. Charming. On a Prodigy ship headed toward the crash site, Wendy confides in another hybrid, Slightly, about her mission. She has to save her brother Joe, aka Hermit, before the city and the Maginot chew him up. She better move fast, because down in the wreckage, Hermit's situation is going from bad to worse. Hermit and 2 other rescue team members are stuck in a collapsing stairwell. The soldiers leap across a gap to the other side, but Hermit hesitates until the Xenomorph reveals itself, forcing him to jump. He misses the mark, crashes to a lower level, and suddenly, he's all alone. The alien charges him in one of the tensest sequences so far, but Hermit barely manages to dive into an elevator and slam the doors shut. He radios for help. Silence.
I've been wounded twice. And
She's watching him every day now, sometimes 2 or 3 times.
One day earlier, we flash back to a day before the crash. Hermit is trying to resign from his medic job with 7 months left on his contract. The reason? He's the last surviving member of his family, or so he thinks, and he wants to finally pursue his father's dream of him becoming a doctor. Boy, Dame Sylvia, Kirsch, and others are watching this footage, debating whether it was a mistake to let Wendy observe her brother. During the conversation, Hermit drops a line from Ice Age, a shared favorite with Wendy, which prompts her to take control remotely and actually speak to him for a moment. It's short-lived. His resignation is denied.
What? It's like a...
Back to the crash site. The Prodigy ship finally reaches the wreckage.
Wendy's advanced hearing picks up a strange buzzing inside, a sound she can't place. But before she can investigate, they're pulled into a tent meeting. Crash explains to the military why the hybrids are here, to help handle the chaos inside the Maginot. While scanning the area, Wendy finds a security feed showing Hermit trapped in that elevator. She bolts and Crash sends slightly after her. Boy Cavalier gets a call from Yutani herself. She wants her ship back and everything on it. Boy refuses. When she pushes, he makes it clear. The Majinaut crashed in Prodigy territory, and sending in her own team would be seen as a hostile act. After hanging up, Boy tells his assistant Adam Ines that he wants everything on that ship for himself. This is going to end badly for him, and we all know it. The alien breaks free. All the Lost Boys eventually make it aboard the Maginot, but Wendy and Slightly are far ahead. Crash keeps his group moving by reminding them fears for animals, and you are not animals. They find a bizarre alien plant in a corridor, and while looking for a container to store it, they stumble across two insect-like alien creatures sucking the blood out of dead soldiers. It gets worse. Another small, nasty alien attacks, but they manage to trap it. Wendy and Slightly reach the stairwell, spotting Hermit's bag and massive claw marks on the walls. Meanwhile, Hermit, now out of the elevator, wanders across a barren floor and knocks on a door, only to find a suite full of wealthy people dressed in 1700s costumes. They have no clue what's happening outside and don't care until the Xenomorph smashes in, kills the soldier with Hermit, and then massacres the guests. Hermit flees, stumbling into an apartment littered with body parts. Just as the Xenomorph is about to pounce, Morrow arrives. In an awesome sequence, he stuns the alien with a special gun, then uses another weapon to cocoon it in a web-like net. He does the same to Hermit and starts hauling the alien away. On the way out, more Prodigy troops confront Morrow, telling him to drop his weapon. He warns them he's the least of your problems. And right on cue, the Xenomorph breaks free, slicing through the soldiers before vanishing to hunt more prey. Brother and sister reunited. Hermit wakes up in a side room remembering a moment watching the 1977 World Series with his dad. Noah Hawley cameo again. Wendy appears. To him, she's just some strange synthetic woman, but she smiles when he talks about their father. Slightly, unable to keep a secret, blurts out that Wendy used to be a girl named Marcy, Hermit's sister's name. Wendy confirms it, calling him by his real name, Joe, and quoting their Ice Age in-joke. Hermit tests her with memories only Marcy would know. She passes every one. Finally, it hits him. This synthetic in front of him is his sister. Overwhelmed, he leans on her shoulder and they embrace. After thinking his whole family was gone, he's got a piece of it back. The group presses on and soon finds a clutch of alien eggs. Before they can react, an alien Xenomorph ambushes them, but instead of killing Joe, it drags him away, clearly intending to use him for facehugger breeding. Wendy orders Slightly to stay with the eggs while she races after the alien. She just found her brother and she's not losing him again. Ending explained. Episodes 1 and 2 of Alien Earth end by setting up the emotional and thematic core of the series, and the danger that will drive it forward. What begins as two parallel storylines, the Majinaut Crash site swarming with alien life, and Wendy's new existence as a synthetic, collides when Wendy discovers that Hermit, the medic trapped in the wreckage, is actually her long-lost brother, Joe. Their reunion is one of the few moments of warmth in an otherwise relentless nightmare, and it redefines Wendys mission. It's no longer just about Prodigy's orders, but about saving family. However, in true alien fashion, the victory is short-lived. The moment they reconnect, a Xenomorph abducts Joe, hinting it will use him as a host for a new alien. Thematically, this ending underscores Noah Hawley's focus on identity, humanity, and the bonds that survive even death, with the synthetic Wendy proving more human than many of the living characters. At the same time, it escalates the stakes. Wendy must venture deeper into a hive-infested death trap to rescue Joe, while factions like Prodigy and Weyland Yutani circled the crash site, each wanting its deadly cargo. The family reunion is complete, but survival is far from guaranteed.
Look at
Family only!
Our nerdy thoughts. With Wendy and Joe's reunion shattered by the Xenomorph's capture, the hunt is personal, and the stakes are never higher. Prodigy wants the ship, Weyland Yutani wants their property, and the alien hive wants new hosts. If these first 2 episodes are any indication, Alien Earth isn't just retreading old ground, it's rewriting the rules of what an alien story can be. And with family, corporate greed, and survival on the line, the real horror is just getting started.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.